welcome Grizwald Grim from Grizwald Grim YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
The recording will be aired later this week, but on the day of the recording, 14th of January, which is the Happy New Year in Gregorian calendar, actually the first day of the year. Yeah.
Welcome everybody to Line by Line number 99. There's a thing where I've gotten to do the double digits, and this one was coming up, and it turns out today is the Dave's Grohl birthday.
Happy birthday, Dave.
And we're gonna go through one of Dave Grohl's songs because happy birthday, Dave.
Yeah.
But this is your show, so anything else?
Okay, and so for the new year and David's birthday, it's Everlong by David Grohl. Hello, I waited here for you everlong. Tonight, I throw myself into and out of the red, out of her head, she sang. So, what does it mean? Is it a person waiting for somebody who will drop all the problems in his arms?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
It means some princess finds a lonely guy who's been waiting for somebody forever, and she's like overwhelmed and out of her head, and so she throws herself into his arms, and he's telling the story because she sang. So like he's the hello, and then she's the I throw myself into out of the red, and then he's telling the story because she sang.
So she's obviously a singer.
Quite possibly. She's singing stuff to him. So.
It's like, can you imagine she's like this, the person who just talks like this, everything like, here, I'm making coffee.
Yes, I think our world would be a lot more musical if everybody sang. And I don't see why we don't, really.
Yeah. Yeah, you can read the next part.
Oh, come down and waste away with me. Down with me. Slow, how you wanted it to be. I'm over my head, out of her head, she sang.
So
What do you think?
I think it's he is inviting her to come down and slow. I don't know what this means. So she's like, she has to breathe slower. It's like, I'm down slower, slower, slower. But then how you want it to be. And I'm over my head, like, is he panicking? Out of her head, she sang. I have some linguistic problems to understand it.
I bring it to the line above is also hers, and he's again I'm over my head, out of her head is both her over or it's him, he's in over his head with her, and she's saying I'm out of my head. But the slow part is I don't know, part of the arrangement she made when she threw herself in his arms. But he either understood intuitively or they talked about it. That like whatever happens, slow please, sir. Is sort of how I get it.
Okay, I understand it a little bit more now. Thank you so much for understanding it.
And I wonder, when I sing along with you, if everything could ever be this real forever. Like if anything good could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you've got to promise not to stop when I say when, she sang. I think.
It was hard for me to understand it linguistically somehow. And when he is holding her, he feels really good. And he's wondering how long can it last, that good feeling? Like, will it be forever like this? So he's maybe doesn't want to lose it. And so I think she asked him not to stop. Uh, or, oh, he asked her not to stop, right? Even if he says to stop?
She makes him promise that when she says stop, he doesn't. It's very questionable material in today's society.
Well, she
It's like a
asked for it.
prearranged consent, right? She's negotiating her romantic contact contract with him, and the negotiation is like, when the word when is not the safe word. You've got to promise not to stop when I will be saying when. That doesn't mean stop. You got to promise. That's kind of like that.
The safe word is stop.
Yes, not when. If I say when,
You
you're supposed
continue.
to keep going. Don't promise you won't stop when I say when. Because most people, some people, I've never done this before.
I never heard that
Breathe
sent to me.
out.
Actually, nobody ever said that to me.
Breathe out so I can breathe you in,
That's beautiful.
hold you in. And now I know you've always been out of your head. Out of my head, I say.
I actually understood it like when she breathes out and he breathes in, he understands. I actually think they smoked together. And then he starts understanding her. It's like the shared smoke, and then it's like, oh, now I also can read your mind.
I same. Well, not so much with mind reading, but for me, it just means like when two people are in the same room and breathing the same air, breathing together or conspiring, as some people would call it, then they're literally sharing like the same life, the same breath, the same moment of life, the same that level. So he's like, he wants to hold on to that so much. So he's like, just like, I assume she's sleeping next to him when he's saying this, right? And then he right now he's abandoning the notion that this crazy lady is going to be at all healed or made better by being with him. And so he's like, and now I know you've always been out of your head. And then he's telling himself that he's out of his head for he's singing to it, I'm out of my head to himself because he's done it. He succumbed, he got himself involved in the whole situation. But then he goes back to how good it is with the next return to the chorus.
Exactly. I also noticed that. Yeah. So he actually does kind of.
Like he says he's out of his head, but he's not complaining about being out of his head at all. So
Yeah. I really like that idea. Breathe out so I can breathe you in. It sounds very romantic. It's like there is the only case that I can imagine it's not romantic if she stopped breathing. And he's like, oh my God, I could not have get enough of your breath. Breathe out, breathe out. And she's like, nope.
okay.
She's like, she doesn't want to breathe on purpose. And he's like, come on. Okay, I get silly ideas about that.
Today is the Dave's Grohl birthday. So as a present to him, I thought Line by Line 99 could be this prototype game I have where people take the lyrics of a song line by line, but they, instead of analyzing, they sing them to each other. And it's like, since it's a performance thing and the performer still has to say what's going on, the way it works is I'll sing a line, and if it feels right, I'll leave a big space. I'll start leaving a space, and if it doesn't, I'll indicate and do it again. And then the next person can either respond with the next line or that line back. And we're gonna go through one of Dave Grohl's songs because Happy Birthday, Dave! Playing that game. Hello, I've waited here for you ever long.
Hello, I waited here for you ever long.
Tonight, I throw myself into
Tonight, I throw myself into
out of the red, out of her head, she sang.
and out of the red, out of her head, she sang.
Come down and waste away with me, down with me.
Come down and waste away with me, down with me.
Slow how you wanted it to be.
I'm over my head, out of my head.
She sang, and I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever be this real forever.
If everything could be this real forever,
Anything could ever be this good again.
if anything could be this good again.
The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say what she sings. If everything could ever feel this real forever, or if anything could ever be this good again, over and over, like we're two little birds saying it back and forth.
Okay.
If everything could ever feel this real forever.
If anything could ever be this good again.
If anything could ever be this good again.
If everything could ever be this real forever.
If everything could ever feel this real forever.
If everything could ever be this good again.
If anything could ever be this good again.
If everything could ever feel this real forever.
Forever? If anything could ever be this good again.
If anything could ever be this good again.
If everything could ever feel this real forever.
If anything could ever be this good again.
The only thing I'll ever ask of you. The only thing I'll ever ask of you.
Thanks. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you've got to promise not to stop when I say when.
The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when.
The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you got to promise not to say stop when I say when. No, not to stop. Fuck.
The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when. She sang.
And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you've got to promise not to stop when I say when.
Breathe out so I can breathe you in. Hold you in.
Breathe out so I can breathe you in, hold you in. And now I know you've always been out of your head, out of my head, I sang.
And now I know you've always been out of your head, out of my head, I sang.
And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever be this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you got to promise not to stop when I say when, I sang.
And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever be this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, gotta promise not to stop when I say when. She sang.
And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever be this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you've got to promise not to stop when I say when, I sang.
That you nailed that the last one for sure. I think that was
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. That game was really fun. It actually was much longer. You guys get the some of the chosen parts, but there are many parts that are missing, and I think they might be available in the future for the really, really, really big fans of us. Okay.
Thanks everybody for joining us on this Dave Grohl Happy Birthday line by line coverage of the song Everlong. I'm Grim Grizz from the Grim Grizz YouTube channel. This is that Kara Nodrik lady, and we're here because we got too much free time on. I mean, because we choose to spend our free time this way.
Exactly. Which is coincidentally the sponsor of today's podcast. Thank you, Free Time.
Thank you. Thank you.
People, check out links below. Subscribe, support, and bye.
Tonight I throw myself into and out of the red, out of her head, she sang.
Tonight I throw myself into and out of the red, out of my head, I sang.
All right. Do I throw myself into? But like when you're saying throw myself into, it's like my arms and your only chance.
Oh, that's what this line means. So,
Out of the red, out of her head,
no, no,
into
no.
his arms. Yeah.
I did not know what it means. I did not know that, like, I throw myself into, what the fuck is that? Throw myself into? Like, am I like, is it like magician thing where you like,
Tonight I saw myself into.
exactly.
She's out of her head, I sang.
I get her head, I get her legs. They sang. Okay, I did not
Happy
know.
birthday, Dave.